What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Leo coming to you guys with yet another video, and you guys have been showing a lot of love on my recent prediction videos talking about predicting Bad Blood, even though it's weeks in advance. Well, I'm going to take it a step further and predict WrestleMania 41 months in advance. You heard it, and I'm going to repeat it again. WrestleMania 41 is months away at this point, and I'm going to try to predict the matches on the card. And then as we get closer to WrestleMania 41, we're going to do a follow-up video and see how well I did looking back at the predictions that I had. And we'll see how accurate or how off I was completely being. Shout out to Santi Zap for this video idea. So we're gonna get into it. I have a lot of them on my phone, so if you guys see me looking down, that's why. It's because I did take a lot of the matches that I'm gonna think that's predicting that's gonna happen on my phone. So that if you see me looking down, that's why. So the first match that I'm predicting will happen is a match I feel like will happen. I feel like this is probably one of the few that I feel like that will be accurate come WrestleMania 41, and that being Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair. We know they're currently tag team champions, but we know WWE is going to want to pull the trigger on having those two face each other at WrestleMania. And I feel like it's inevitable that at some point they're going to lose their tag team titles, probably at the Royal Rumble or somewhere down the line in the road in the lead up to WrestleMania 41, and we will have them finally have their match at WrestleMania 41 next year. But my personal prediction is when it comes down to who's going to turn heel on who, I think a lot of people are going to say Bianca. Well, not Bianca, but Jade Cargill is the one that's going to turn. No, 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 no. I think Bianca Belair will turn heel because if for us wrestling fans that are familiar with Bianca Belair, her NXT run when she was being a heel was some of her best work, and I feel like they should have kind of capitalized that and brought that up to the main roster because it would have been a great way to have her slotted in, especially with the landscape that we had at the time. Even currently, right now, a heel Bianca Belair going up against this new face of Rhea Ripley, I will be totally invested in that match because the promos that they can have, the matches they're going to have, is going to be top tier. So I have to have Bianca be the one to turn heel on Jade Cargill because I think everybody thinks Jade Cargill turning. It seems like almost a certainty, and people are just predicting that for so long. So I think why not have a swerve and shock the fans and have Bianca be the one to do it? But the first match that I predict is going to happen at WrestleMania 41, Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill. The next match that I'm predicting is going to be for the Intercontinental Championship. We have the Intercontinental Champion Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker going in as Intercontinental Champion at WrestleMania 41 to face the face that runs the place, the 16-time World Heavyweight Champion. You can't see him, John Cena. I have John Cena versus Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 41. Now, we know Braun Breaker, he recently did call out John Cena in a recent interview that he had, and he talked about that, John Cena, you never become he became Intercontinental Champion, and I'm the one that's holding it. If you want this title, come get at me. Come say it to my face. Come take it from me. So he pretty much called them out, and I think at some point down the line, you could definitely run this going into WrestleMania because I think this would add more emphasis and give more importance and more prestige to the Intercontinental, not just because of Braun Breaker, but because John Cena is chasing that title, chasing the one title that he has never held in his illustrious WWE career. So I have to put that on there. So the next match, well, before I get into the next match, but like I said, then that match is definitely going to be good because you have Braun Breaker going for that spear. Like this match between these two will be just two people just going at it. It would be a great match, and I feel like the story that they can tell between Braun Breaker and John Cena would be great. And like I said, add more importance for the Intercontinental Championship. On to the next match for the United States Championship. We have a ladder match. Yes, a ladder match for the United States Championship. We have LA Knight walking in as your United States Champion against Grayson Waller, Carmelo Hayes, Kevin Owens, Austin Theory, Andrade, AJ Styles, and the debuting Ricky Starks. Now, this is a great match because you have the U.S. Championship on SmackDown. And you want to get as many people as you want to on the card as much as possible. So why not do it? So why not do it? You know what I mean? I think this match would be great to have between the two, these guys, because I think all of them have different styles, and I think they can work together and give us a great match. But Ricky Starks debuting would be a big deal because we do know at some point he's probably gonna jump ship anyway. But why not have him debut on the biggest stage possible in a ladder match at WrestleMania for his first championship? That takes the ice on the cake for me. Win, lose, or draw, that is a big deal for Ricky Starks showing up on the biggest stage that WWE can honestly put on. So I definitely have to give that a shout out there. On to the next match. We have for the WWE Tag Team titles, we have the Usos of Jay Uso and Jimmy Uso versus the Bloodline of Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa for the WWE Tag Team titles. I think this is bound to happen at some point. I feel like that's the reason why they put the Tag Team titles on them, because I think they're probably going to go on the route of having them versus the Usos at some point, and I figured why not do it at WrestleMania. On to the next match that we're going to be talking about. For the WWE Women's Championship, we have Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton, she's pretty much on the run of her career right now, holding that Money in the Bank contract, which guarantees her a shot at the title. I think she's going to cash in, and Charlotte is going to come back at some point in the near future. I think the time I'm recording this video, she is close to returning. So I think why not have this match be almost like a passing of the torch type of match? You have Charlotte put over Tiffany Stratton and make her an even bigger deal than she already is. So I definitely had to put that match on my predictions for WrestleMania 41. The next match is a celebrity versus celebrity match. We have Logan Paul versus Bad Bunny. Two of the biggest celebrities that have came and crossed over to WWE and had some of the best matches since as a celebrity in the WWE, in my personal opinion. Logan Paul, even no matter what you say about him, when he gets in that ring, he is one of the best to do it. We also gotta agree, Bad Bunny, for his first match, he impressed a lot of people. The match that he had with Damian Priest last year at Backlash, very impressive. That was like one of my favorite matches of that year, in my personal opinion. So I definitely think these two proven who's the better celebrity that's crossed over to WWE. I think the story, in the match itself, honestly. So that's my next prediction for WrestleMania 41. The next match, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. CM Punk is, even though he's included with this feud with Drew McIntyre, which is definitely amping up as we head into Bad Blood at the time of recording this video. But I do think the next big match or feud that he's going to have is going to be Seth Rollins. These two are going to have bad blood with each other. No pun intended to the pay-per-view coming up in a couple of weeks. But these two are going to literally try to murder each other. They're going to literally try to get one up each other week after week. The promos are going to be good. The match, I feel like, is going to be good. I think they will really have a brawling feud going into that pay-per-view for WrestleMania 41. You can even add a stipulation if you want, where the number one contenders for world title, we will see. But for sure, Seth Rollins versus CM Punk at WrestleMania 41. We know when these two they kind of been separating these two to have their own paths. As of right now, we have Seth Rollins on injury right now, selling the injuries from Bronson Reed. We know when Seth Rollins comes back, he's gonna go after Bronson Reed, and when he finishes that feud up, and the path is open for him and CM Punk to cross paths once again in the near future. The next match is a Las Vegas street fight. We have Drew McIntyre versus Matt Cardona. Now, a lot of people are going to probably be looking at this video like, what do you mean? How are you setting this up? Okay, so I feel like Drew McIntyre is gonna look like he's not gonna have something to do. He's gonna probably be in that Seth Rollins type of role where it doesn't look like his path to WrestleMania 41 is clear. But I think they're gonna set something up in the Royal Rumble since it is in February next year. You have Matt Cardona come back into the fold of things, coming back to WWE. He doesn't come back as Zack Ryder. He comes back as Matt Cardona, and we know that this iteration of him is probably the best that he's ever been. He's in the best shape of his life. His character work is top tier. We know it for a fact. And the story could be we both left the company, but Drew McIntyre is fed up with these people coming back and trying to take over his spot. He's fed up with it. He's attacking Matt Cardona, and it gets brawled over to the point they are trying to hurt each other and take each other out of commission, to the point Adam Pearce says enough is enough. You two are going to finally settle this, and it's going to be a Las Vegas street fight. I think the story, the promos that they can have with each other could be really good. Especially with this new iteration of with Raw going to Netflix. I think having Matt Cardona come back in and having him in this type of era, I think he would flourish a lot better than he was under the Vince McMahon umbrella. So hopefully this is like his second chance to finally get to where he's been trying to be his entire life, and that's finally getting to that top spot in the WWE, and this is the first step that he takes to achieving that. On to the next match for the World Heavyweight Championship. We have Gunther walking in as champion against a former friend of his. Not even a former friend, a former enemy. A enemy at his finest. Gunther defending the world title against Ilya Dragunov. These two have a lot of history going back to their NXT UK days and NXT as well. Their fact, I think the match that they had at NXT Takeover 36, if I'm comment down below, let me know. I might be wrong, but NXT Takeover 36, that match was one of my favorite matches. Honestly, they really knocked it out of the park, and you had the visual where you had Ilya Dragunov make Gunther tap out. There's nobody else that I can think of has made him be able to tap out in his career. Yes, he has gotten pinned as of recently, and that's going back to Wrestlemania, but now he's world champion. I think this match sells itself. The fact that a lot of us, including myself, thought this match was gonna happen at Bash of Berlin this past week, but unfortunately that was not the case. We got Gunther versus Randy Orton, which was a great match nonetheless, but I think they're gonna save this match between these two for a bigger and better stage. And what bigger stage could it be than WrestleMania 41 next year? You can build this up. You can start planning teases if you want to in the lead up to that show. So I definitely think we are going to see that happen at some point in the near future. Onto and honestly, and I should have put like a disclaimer in the video. This is not gonna be set up like night one and night two. This is all in just one. However you want to split it, you can do that. But this is all the matches. I'm not gonna really try to predict where matches going to go where. I just have them all in one type of scenario. But the next match we're talking about is the women's tag team titles. We have Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch going up against the Pure Fusion Collective versus Unholy Union versus Kabuki Warriors for the tag titles. I think you have Pure Fusion Collective somehow, someway get their those tag titles from Bianca and Jade at some point in the near future. Because I think whoever does take those titles from Bianca and Jade are going to be heels anyway. So why not do Pure Fusion Collective since they've been trying to build them up as of recently. So I have them going as tag team champions. You have Lyra Valkyria and Becky, they're best friends as of right now in story. So why not run with it and have those two go for the tag titles? Nothing else to be explained with Unholy Union and Kabuki Warriors. Nothing else needs to be explained, but those are the people that I'm going to pick to be part of this women's tag team title match. On to the next match that I'm predicting, and this is a wild card, if you will, but I think it's gonna happen at some point, and what better way to do this than WrestleMania? We have the introduction of the Women's Intercontinental Championship and will be determined and crowned in a battle royal at WrestleMania. I know people are probably going to be like, oh, why they're going to do a battle royal? Why you can't do a tournament? Not everything needs to be a tournament, you guys. I mean, go back to what we used to have. I mean, look what happened with the world title back in like 2007, 2006, something like that, where Greg Harley, he won in a battle royal. Like, we've seen the title be won numerous times in a battle royal, and we haven't really had a women's battle royal on WrestleMania. I know we did for like maybe 2, 3 years, and then that was it. But we've been having the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, so this could be the equivalent to that for the women and having them crown their first ever mid card champion. Because I think we are bound to get a women's mid card title for the main roster at some point in the near future. Anyway, they're already testing the waters of it with NXT having the NXT North American title. So why not give the women on the main roster a women's mid-card title to fight for? This will help elevate a lot of women that aren't really getting a lot of shine, a lot of opportunities to do much of anything right now. So this will be definitely beneficial to the whole roster as a whole. So why not do it at WrestleMania? On to the next match that we're going to be talking about. We're going to have the Wyatt Six versus the Final Testament. I feel like just having Wyatt Six have a match at WrestleMania, and you've been trying to do something with Karrion Kross anyway, and I think there were reports that they were going to try to do Karrion Kross versus Bray Wyatt, RIP to Bray Wyatt. They were going to try to do something with those two in a match. So why not kind of do something here, kind of blur the lines a little bit and everything like that. And I feel like, the feud could probably be interesting in all honesty. I think the feud could be something if given the time um to pick up steam and stuff like that. So why not? To the next match we have for the World Tag Team Championships. Um no, the WWE Tag Team, no, yeah, the World Tag Team Championships. I'm sorry, I kind of get the tag titles confused. Anyway, we have American Made defending the titles against LWO versus New Day. I think they're gonna set up a mix, like a multi-man at some point this year, and we'll probably have the Judgment Day lose. Um, and then you can give it to American Made because I think they're trying to push them as something big. But I know New Day did tease on the recent episode of Raw of possibly going after the tag team titles since the Judgment haven't defended in over 2 months. So why not, you know, actually go all in and have those titles be defended at WrestleMania? The next match that we're going to be talking about is for the Women's World Championship. We have Rhea Ripley going in as champion against Liv Morgan. I think they're going to try to drag this out until WrestleMania. I really do. I really feel like if you look at the current landscape right now on Raw, I feel like those are really your top players right now. I know you can have a Royal Rumble winner come in and actually go over to Raw and challenge for the title. But I think if you look at it, I think a lot of the matches already kind of been made in advance. We can already kind of see them kind of be doing Charlotte versus Tiffany. We can see, and the reason why I didn't mention Bayley, because Bayley will be part of the Intercontinental Championship Battle Royal. Um, and then the women's tag team titles, you have Becky Lynch there. So those are kind of like your top players right there. And then you have Bianca and Jade occupied as well. So outside of that, you really just have Liv Morgan, unless you want to bring Alexa Bliss back in. But I don't think they're gonna do that. And how do I think they're gonna do this? I do think they're gonna set things up for, she's probably gonna have, they're gonna have their match at Bad Blood, of course, and Liv Morgan is going to retain. And then on the first episode of Raw on Netflix, I can see them giving Rhea Ripley that big pop and having her win the title on that episode because I think that would be a big deal for her. And then you can kind of start teasing them going separate, but Liv Morgan, or maybe they do like sometimes they do with a lot of these wrestlers, they take some time off and come back in the Royal Rumble. And I think this would be a great way to finally have her win the Royal Rumble, since she has came up second in the last two. You have a way to finally culminate that story and finally give her a win at WrestleMania. And you can actually have these two have a stipulation. If you don't do a stipulation at Bad Blood, that's how I see it happening. So you have Rhea Ripley win the title back. Liv Morgan wins the Royal Rumble. She goes on to WrestleMania and finally has a big marquee match at WrestleMania, since she's never really had like a big match at WrestleMania one on one. And you have these two have an actual history that makes a lot of sense to be dragged out to WrestleMania. And then you can finally have Liv Morgan have her big moment at WrestleMania itself. So that's one of the matches. That's the other side of the women's matches. Now we're on to the world title. Well, we already kind of talked about the rest of the matches. We have two more. to go over. The next match for the WWE Championship, we have Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. I think if you're looking at Cody Rhodes' reign right now and you're looking at who faces him at WrestleMania, I know people are going to say The Rock. I do not. I wouldn't be mad at The Rock if he faced Cody, but my thing is this: he does not need to face Cody Rhodes for the championship. You can at WrestleMania. You can have him face Cody since he did pin him at WrestleMania 40 this year on night one. So there is that leeway right there where he's gonna say, I did pin you, and he did say the night after WrestleMania night 2, he says your story with Roman is done, but our story is just beginning. So you're already teasing that they're going to face at some point in the near future. Why not just do this at a Saudi show? Because you know Saudi want the big stars there. You can do this at the Royal Rumble. You do not need to do this at WrestleMania. If you want, who do I think should be facing him is Randy Orton. The story makes a lot of sense. The story that teases that they're going to be doing where he finally turns on Cody and facing him for that championship is going to be a big moment. The story between the two, going back to their days in the legacy, where it was like student versus teacher. They were literally. This is the match that we need right now. This is probably one of the biggest matches you can put on for Cody. Not to say that Rock would be a bad match. By any means, it's not. But you can do that somewhere else. Cody versus Randy Orton is the match they need to book for WrestleMania 41. And on to the final match that we are going to be talking about. It is Tribal Combat. Winner becomes the true Tribal Chief. We have Rock versus Roman Reigns. Roman and Rock is probably the biggest match you can put on a WrestleMania, period. It's the biggest match you can put on WrestleMania, period. Like, do you not see the numbers that they were generating in the lead up to WrestleMania 40? They were generating huge numbers. They're both ratings draws. Literally. They're literally some of the biggest draws in wrestling. People are going to watch because of them. If you're talking about the new generation versus the old generation, this is the dream match that you book right here. And because it's also has family ties too, that makes it even more intriguing. And if you look at the direction they're taking with Roman right now, you can have, now that he's a babyface, you have a situation where it's at some point where it looks like he's about to get his vengeance, and we find out that The Rock is the one been the mastermind behind this whole thing. He's been orchestrating this entire thing against Roman, and that makes Roman an even bigger babyface and a bigger star than he already is now. He's going to be on a whole new level after this. And now you have them, Roman has been calling himself the tribal chief for years, but if The Rock comes in and says, you're not the tribal chief, I am, and I had Solo be doing all the bidding for me, and it proved that you are not the tribal chief, that you can't handle the responsibility. That's why I need to come back in and take my place at the head of the table back because you can't handle it. That story is going to feed families. I'm sorry. That match is going to cook. The promos are going to cook. The interactions that they're going to have is going to cook. The match is going to be cooked as well. And like I said, family ties well. What family members is going to align with Rock and what family members are going to align with Roman. That's how you can do that. But those are the matches that I'm predicting for WrestleMania 41. Comment down below your predictions for matches that you think are going to happen at WrestleMania 41 next year. I would love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section down below. We're on the road to 300 subscribers, but the ultimate goal is 10K. Like I said, every video, I will do a giveaway with one of my, do hit 10K, or one of my lucky subscribers will have the opportunity to win a WWE Championship from WWE Shop. So if you want to be a part of that and want to be that potential lucky subscriber to win it, go subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. You can always change your mind in the future, but why would you want to do that? I'm trying to give you guys daily wrestling content. The grind doesn't stop. Super kick that like button so every time I post, super kick that like button because it helps my channel get pushed across the platform so more people can see what I'm doing here on YouTube. Superman Punch that post notification bells and every time I post a new video, whether it's a reaction video, rant video, live stream, any type of video, you can be in a loop of things when I do drop a video. And spear that subscribe button. It takes 3 seconds out of your day to do those 3 things for me. Helps out in the progression of my channel. So I appreciate every single one of you guys. Hope everybody has a great day, a great week, and I'll see you guys in the next video.